If you like this content, please hit the subscribe and like buttons so I know to continue making these videos. The Wraith was released in 1986 and stars Charlie Sheen as Jake, a mysterious teenager who appears in the town of Brooks, Arizona, at the same time as a mysterious black car shows up and starts winning illegal street races, organised by local bad boy Packard Walsh, played by Nick Cassavetes. Whilst the car starts winning races and taking out Walsh's gang members one by one, Jake starts seeing Carrie, the cute girlfriend of Walsh, played by Sherilyn Fenn. Things are not all as it seems, however, as it's slowly revealed that Jake could be the ghost of Jamie, Carrie's old boyfriend who was killed by Walsh and his gang. Although for some reason not explained, she has no memory of it happening, even though he's killed whilst they're in bed together. Whilst all this is happening, Randy Quaid's Sheriff Loomis investigates and slowly puts all the pieces together. Jake and the car continue to take out Walsh's gang, until only Walsh is left. This sets up a final race, which doesn't turn out well for either Walsh or his car. After this final showdown, Jake reveals to Carrie that he is actually Jamie, come back from the dead, as close as I could come to who I once was. In typical 80s fashion, this news is taken without issue, and they both ride off into the sunset on Jake's Honda XL350R Enduro dirt bike. It's never explained how Jamie came back as Jake, nor what link the car has to any of this, but that just makes the movie more interesting. There doesn't always need to be an explanation for everything in these types of films. Charlie Sheen would have a good 1986 career-wise. His most famous role up to that point was probably 1984's Red Dawn, but in 1986 would star in both The Wraith and then Platoon. He would go on to star in Wall Street in 1987 and Young Guns in '88. Sherilyn Fenn looks absolutely stunning as Carrie, the love interest caught up between the newly arrived Jake and local bad boy Walsh. Sherilyn had played only minor parts by this point and would continue to make these types of films that she referred to as sexploitation films throughout the late 80s, including 1988's notorious Blue Moon Junction with Richard Tyson. She felt the only reason she was getting these roles was due to her willingness to take her top off, which she also does in The Wraith. It wouldn't be until the early 90s and a small show called Twin Peaks where she would start to see the recognition for her on-screen performances. Nick Cassavetes plays Packard Walsh, a local street racer who has a reputation of doing anything to win an opponent's car through illegal street racing. Son of actress Gina Rowlands and actor and movie director John Cassavetes, Nick initially didn't want to follow his parents into the movie business and went to college on a basketball scholarship. Unfortunately, due to an accident, he couldn't continue his sporting dream, and The Wraith was only the third film he had starred in. Since then, he's gone on to star in action blockbusters such as Face Off, and has also become an accomplished director with movies such as The Notebook. The ragtag gang that Walsh surrounds himself with feels like a combination of characters out of Escape from New York and A Poor Man's Lost Boys, which would be released the following year. They're really only there as comedic relief and a body count for The Wraith, but the over-the-top performances, especially by the actors playing Skank and Gutter Boy, have a certain charm that can only be found in 80s B-movies. The story is beside the point, really. What most come to this movie for is the cars, which really are stars of their own. The Wraith's car is a Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor, custom made for the film, and boy does it look and sound cool. Capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 4 seconds, and with a top speed of around about 195 miles per hour, the car apparently nearly killed a stunt driver when it first appeared on set. There were 6 models created for the film, with 2 being drivable. The others were used for stunts and were generally blown up. Walsh and his gang drive around in their own sweet rides, which include a 1976 Corvette, a 1986 Dodge Daytona, a 1977 Trans Am, a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda, and a 1985 GMC Sierra truck. It's unfortunate they all become toast. Well, all except the GMC Sierra. The film had a limited theatrical release in the United States in November 1986, but went on to become a worldwide VHS cult classic. The soundtrack is one of the better ones to come out of the 80s, with artists such as Ozzy Osbourne, Billy Idol, Motley Crue, Bonnie Tyler, Lion, and more all contributing. The Juno 106 also plays a major part for those into their synthwave sounds. If you're a fan of Outrun or 80s style in general, you'll love the look and feel of this film. It's almost as if they made a time capsule of 80s style and sound intended for us to fondly look back on in years to come. This film has many 80s tropes, including boobs, cool cars, cool action, and an awesome soundtrack. If you're a fan of 80s action, there's no reason to not watch The Wraith.